Vibe Show 97.9. Man, I know it's been a while. We've been revamping some things and doing a lot behind the scenes, but we are back. Thank y'all for
Let's go! Let's go! New shit. Hey, yo, Bert. Hey, talk to him. Yeah, now tell me should I feel so wrong for things I'm setting aside?
Vibe Show 97.9. Back with my special guest, the one and only. Well, you know what? We got to get all these hats in first. So y'all bear with us. We got to get these hats in because this here wears quite a few of them. I'm talking about entrepreneur, host, vision strategist, life changer, founder of EGAP Real Estate and Life Changers, the one and only, the very lovely Paige Turner. How you doing, Queen? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for inviting me. This is so fun. What a great platform to be a part of. So thank you for thinking of me.
No, thank you very much. I feel like I've been trying to make this happen for quite some time, and it's finally happening now. I don't know, because I'm like, do she think we scammers trying to reach out to her? Because I know everybody's weary now. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you what happens though. In the world of social media, it's so easy to send DMs, right? And like you just look up and you just have DMs from everybody, and then you see them, and while you're like sitting down, let's say in between two places, you're like, oh my God, yeah, I'm going to respond to that. And then 20 more fall in, 50 more fall in, and they just get backed up. So we caught each other on the right day. And
you know what it is? I'm not that hot yet, I guess. And my DMs, I guess, is not popping like that. I don't think I've had an overflowage yet, you know.
Listen, when they say it goes down to the DMs, people, specifically men, are crazy. That's all I'm going to say. Crazy with the DMs.
Is it that bad?
Oh, it's awful. It's worse than that. It's awful.
Oh my God.
And I want to turn them off. But the flip side to that is that for every 5 really ridiculous men, there are 3 really strong women that want to send me a message. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, or an opportunity like this. So I don't want to miss out on opportunities when people don't like go through my website to send an email. That's super layered when you're right on Instagram and can just send something. So I get torn, like, oh, I just wish I could just turn the grease balls off.
They should have a grease ball tool where you can hit that, click that, and turn the grease balls off. Do a screen.
Exactly.
Thank you so much again. This is really an absolute honor. I really think that you're such an amazing spirit, and you do so much to just push those good vibes out there. So, and I'm really, really grateful for this opportunity. And it's really, really a treat for the listeners as well, too. If they don't know about you, they can get familiar within today's show. So thank you again from me and the team.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Now, I'm one of your followers, and I love following your page because I feel like I'm on this daily adventure. You always got something amazing going on. The vibes are always on high all the time. I want to start with because you really seem like you're in a really happy place. Now we know that Instagram, it's a lot of fake facades out there, but I feel like you're the real deal. But I would like to start with have you always been in that place, or how did you get to that place of that self-happiness? Because I feel like that aura is all over you all the time. You're always smiling, always putting out good vibes, positive affirmations. You do funny videos. You're just really in a good space in life. Can we talk about that a little bit?
Well, that's sweet. Thank you. It's a blessing when I hear that that's what other people see. So to answer your question, I've always been hyperactive since I was a baby. So we'll start there. And then as I got older and I created a relationship with God, and it got stronger. And then I had these 3 little babies before I was ready to have children, being a single mom. All 3 were born like within 16 months of each other. It was crazy. Really? because I have twins. And so right now they're 24 and a half and 26. So I basically had triplets by the time I was 23. And there have been a lot of dark places as a single mom, but I think my relationship with God and actually doing the things that God says to do to see the fruit of your labor and watch it work, that's just what's kept me going. And there are many dark nights, many crying nights. I mean, I am genuinely happy and super, super blessed. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't come with highs and lows, which such is life, right? But I would say, yeah, I've always been like this. I just want everybody to win. I want everybody to win who's willing to do the work. Now, if you ain't willing to do the work, don't call me. But if you're ready to grind and cry and laugh and grind and cry and keep that on repeat, then I've got you.
Right. And see, that's another thing, too. You know, that's really like your whole motto. You want everybody to win. And I just find that because I'm that way as well. And you know, we get a lot of people that we connect with who don't want to do the work, which is, you know, that's on them. But at the same time, it is a disappointing feeling because, you know, you see something in them that they might not see in themselves or whatever. Yeah. Have you ever dealt with that before? Because I know that you're always pushing that energy out there, trying to open up doors and connect with amazing people or people who may be low in spirit, who can't see those gifts that they may have or whatever. Have you ever experienced that before?
That is such a great question. I've never been asked that, but the answer is yes. And it's a two-part. So I've learned the older I get that those energies that will just suck, and they're takers, you know, I've learned that I have to rebalance that. It doesn't mean to cut people off just because they got bad energy. You know, I don't really subscribe to energy, but I understand what it means. But when people are just on your coattail and you're doing all the work and you're constantly moving, it's like, wait a minute, if I keep dragging you, it's going to take us both longer to get there. We have to shift weight at one point. I don't believe that anything is 50-50. I believe that when you're high, I might be low and you might have pulled me up and vice versa. So that we're like on the seesaw, like life is just doing like this. But where I find it most is when I'm dating men, because I see more in them than they see. And I don't do it anymore, but back in the day, which could have even been a year ago, you know, I see so much that somebody has to offer that they don't see in themselves. And I've never seen more insecure men. The older I get, the more insecure men I see. And I'm like, wow, do you know how much is in you? If you just do like I do, we can make this work. But if you don't pull your weight, I'm out.
Now, let me ask you this, based on, from an experience standpoint, dealing with, you know, men or whatever, what do you think, and this is just hypothetical, what do you think the problem is? Do you think that comes from, because I know it's different layers with it, because, you know, it could stem from childhood on up. It's different layers of it, but just experiencing it on a more adult level, what would you say is the most problems that you think that men suffer with that? Do you think that it's because of intimidation, maybe from the space that you're in now in life, or maybe, you know, women who are in the same space that you are that don't really need men from a financial standpoint, possibly?
Ooh, these are great questions that are in my head. So I'm glad I get to like get it out of my head and out. I think that, so I'm 47, I'll be 48 in 2 weeks. Okay. Right. So there's different chapters in your life that you deal with. So when I was in my 20s and I met somebody who was ready to ride with me, it'd be cool. We can start from the bottom and make it to the top together. But then you slide in your 30s, and since so many more women year by year are making so much more money, more so than men right now, I definitely see that as an intimidation factor. But then there's a switch. When you have a woman that is that aggressive in her professional life, we do know how to fall back in a personal relationship if that man is already situated where he's supposed to be. So I find that I'm a super, God, I try to dial back, but I'm just too old to. I'm a super strong alpha woman. Right. And when you meet the good guy, when you just meet, he's just a nice guy, you know, he just opens a door for me. He thinks about me. When a man just thinks about you, like, oh, I was at the store and saw these grapes, and I know you love your red grapes, right?
Little things, right?
that's so sweet, but then there has to be more to that. And so when it comes to, oh, I work 14 hours a day, or I'm going here, I'm going there, then that's where that intimidation factor comes in if he's not on that level. So I'm just at a space now where, again, we're on a seesaw in life, but you have to meet me or beat me where I am emotionally, spiritually, physically, financially, all of those elements, because I don't accept anything less than what I drive, the shoes I wear, the dope hats I put on my head, which your hat looks super dope. My head is super dope. Your hat looks dope, your glasses. So I find that women will often, fall back in what they desire in a man just to have a man. And so now I'm in a space where it's like, I don't want to hear women say anymore that I don't need a man financially. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Because if you get a man who can't meet you where you are, I promise you at one point that alpha female is going to come out and we're going to try to check a man, which is out of order. Mm-hmm. And then that man is going to be, emasculated. And now we just have a big blow up and we can't really find that balance again.
Right. And it's funny that you say that because, I'm 46 and, we from that same era. And I find like we're just in a weird space, with the social media, because we come from the physical era, the conversation era. We miss that physical stuff where you can actually have a decent conversation with a woman to where it wasn't really about all the and all of this and all of that or whatever. So I kind of feel like we're in a weird space, and it has shifted to the point to where women are, on that financial pedestal, you know what I mean? And are really getting to it right now. And, it's so weird to me because I feel like, having a woman like that who's not, trying to a codependent type of person or whatever, who's out there getting it grinding. I don't understand what the problem is, because to me, that's a double win. If we both got that same spirit, it's nothing but wins for us, because I'm supporting you. I understand the grind, the hours that go into it. I'm supporting your dream. I got my thing going on. So we both got things going on and we're winning.
Yeah, but for some reason, the odds are against all of us. Because at my age now, I find that either men are married and have been since we were in our 20s or 30s, who are still in my DMs, who I check all the time. I say, hey, great to meet you. Let me loop in your wife that's on your page and we can all have a great conversation. Then all of a sudden I'm blocked and unfollowed. But I do it all the time. Or you get a newly divorced man and they have to sow their wild oats because they've been married and she done took half his money, or their money, I should say, because I'm like, girl, get your money. But, or you meet a man who's never been married. He doesn't have any kids, whether in marriage or out of marriage. And I'm like,
that's a problem.
Or he's 48, 46, or even 50 and has a 5-year-old or a 10-year-old or a 12-year-old. And for me, like I said, my oldest is 26 and my twins are 24 and a half. I'm not going to any more dance recitals. I'm done. I put my time in. So it's just a real weird dichotomy of life right now. It's just everything's interesting. You get the dudes who are like WID. Dang, I can't even get like a whole sentence. I just get 3 letters. What?
That's the millennium dudes. That's the millennial dudes. They don't, it's crazy because so would you say that not because like now, I know you've been through a lot. You're a mother. You're a CEO. You're running your businesses. You got so much going on right now. Have you gotten to that point to where you're kind of numb to it and just basically got that tunnel vision going on or whatever, to where you're like super focused? And like you said, the standards are up here, which I don't think anything is wrong with that. A lot of people be saying that, you got your standard. No, because I feel like you should, and you should be equally matched or damn near close to it, because it saves a lot of headaches and a lot of problems. And if you've put that work in like that too, I feel like you do need to be equally matched with somebody that's putting in that same work or willing to put in that same work or whatever, because some people don't have a vision. But are you feel like you're numb to it right now because you do wear a lot of hats and you're juggling a lot of things on top of being a mother as well.
Right. And my kids are grown. So that juggles over. That's why I don't want to date anybody who has a 10-year-old or a 12-year-old or even a 14-year-old, because I've already done that. And I really have this extra time in my life to jump back on. Like I'm from LA. I moved to Nashville 20 years ago for my babies, just because I couldn't figure out how to raise them without being, poor in Los Angeles. So I left everybody I knew and loved in LA, best coast on the planet. And I go to Nashville, I raise them. They all graduate from college. Now I'm like, oh, it's page chapter 2.0 now. Now I can come back and pick up from where I left on 26 years ago. Right. So becoming numb, I would say a little bit, which is really sad because I don't ever want to become hardened and have a hard heart, because you don't want to miss a beautiful opportunity to have an amazing relationship. But I also know that men my age who are now looking back at the youngins, the 20s and 30s, are all dropping like it's hot and just jumping. He says jump,
all type of stuff right now.
And I know 3 minutes into a text, because they never call, like, yeah, I'm not good. Like, oh, your booty was looking good. Blocked. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not my conversation, bro. That's not even how I flow. And if you had any type of discernment, you have to be spiritual. You have discernment. People call it your intuition. Then you can't talk to me like that. So if you try to talk to me like that, now I am dumb to the BS. So I'm numb to the BS.
Well, if they just take a look at your page itself, you don't even have to have a conversation. Look at your page. There's links there. There's all different types of things. You can clearly understand, what you're dealing with. If you're trying to make a pass or do something or whatever, do your research a little bit. Do you do diligence?
They don't.
And see what's going on.
But you're I can already tell you're a very intuitive man. You're a researcher. You dot all your I's and you cross all your T's. 9.5 times out of 10 men, that's not going to happen. That's why I told you the DMs are crazy. I'm like, what am I putting out there? I know I'm going to put this out there.
Well, now you got to understand something too now, Paige. Now, you are a very beautiful woman. You know what I mean? And not only that, but you're displaying, if they truly follow your page like I do, you're displaying not only, you see beyond the beauty, because like I said, you see the way that you enjoy nature, you're living life, you're working your ass off as well. You're spending time with the kids, you're balancing it all out. So you to me, I would say you're well-rounded and very in tune with life, been there, done that. You can just tell. You know what I mean? You could just tell by some of the things. Look at, if I follow your stories, you could just tell, you know what I mean? Like, and you will call out the games and stuff, because you're at a point in life where
I must be numb to it. I must be like, numb to not numb to life, because I'm open.
No.
Because you got to know what you're letting in your space. You know what I'm saying? Within the first 5 seconds, I'm like, nope.
You just know. You know bullshit. Exactly. Yeah. Now, going into, at what point would you say that you kind of figured out what you wanted to, the direction you wanted to go in life as far as career wise? Because like I said, you got multiple things going on. And these brands are successful. This is a proven fact, but I'm sure it wasn't, you had to get to that point. At what point did you, it hit you like, you know what, this is what I want to do, or this is the path that I want to go on, that probably on that path spawned, the other visions.
Right. Gosh, this is such great questions. You're like the next male Oprah.
Don't do me like that.
No, because you really are hitting. Usually the interviews are much more basic than this, so I love this.
I've been waiting on this. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I've probably been sitting in the DM just like you. When you sent me that message, probably been there at the beginning of the year.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Trying to do better. My mother's an author. My father was an entrepreneur, so I grew up in seeing people who work for themselves.
Right.
So when I had babies, bit prematurely, again, 23 with 3 kids, not married. I was working actually for Magic Johnson at the time, and I worked for him for years.
I was going to ask you about that experience.
Yeah, amazing. So we could chat about that. But then I found that it was just too hard in Los Angeles. So I moved us to Nashville, and picked up kind of where I left off here. So I was preparing to get my real estate license in Los Angeles. So I ended up just getting it in Nashville. It wasn't my first choice. It's just everybody was telling me I'd be great in it because I wanted to be a music manager mogul. That's what I wanted.
Really?
Manage dope artists. I want to have a gospel division. I want to have my hip hop division. I want to have a publishing company. I wanted to be just like this bomb, like boss ass woman manager.
Right.
So that didn't happen. So, because I also, one of my first client with his wife, Kristen, and one of our friends, Camille, we started a management company back in the 90s called Eminent Management. We managed Montel Jordan. What? For a while. Yeah. So he was our first artist. We got him on Def Jam. It was super fun, and they're such great people still to this day. So that's what I wanted to do. But then I had these children, and then so life happened, right? So I get into real estate, and then as an entrepreneur, I think that natural. I don't like this word because I think hustling denotes you trying to scam people. But in the spirit of entrepreneurship, I became like this consummate entrepreneur that I realized very early, I should say, that you should have multiple streams of income at all times. Because real estate deals don't always close on time. And, so that's where that started. Now, I would say 8 out of 10 things I've tried have not worked. I've had more businesses and I have more certifications than anybody on the planet. But as I got better in business and as I got older, I'm not afraid to try something. Like, okay, well, let's try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Exactly. I mean, I have promises from God that I'm still going to eat. I'm just going to keep on doing it. But one thing that has been faithful to me is real estate. So from that real estate experience, that catapulted me to have an opportunity to be on television, and then just opened up the world, because what ended up being what I didn't want to do, because I wanted to be in the music industry, which real estate and my children probably saved me, because who knows who I would be had I been in the music industri. What I'm saying?
You ain't never know. You know how that goes.
Prices. I don't know how I would have ended up, or whose babies I would have had. So I would have probably had Suge Knight's babies. I don't know. I'm just kidding. Not that that's bad, but you just never know. So that part of the journey I'm so grateful for, because real estate ended up being a first love for me. So
isn't it weird how God just direct you a whole nother way to basically spare you and save
your life? Absolutely. I know that. And I believe that my children would have been different children had we been out here, in Los Angeles. So I just say, God, that 20 years, it really saved my life and our lives, and allowed me to create such a great life for my kids. All 3 one went to University of Notre Dame, University of Tennessee in Knoxville, and Bellarmine University. So they're highly educated. They're on their own path. They're doing really well on their own. And because of that, now I could come back out here and start a new vision and start a new business and see if that works.
Right. And see, just hearing that's inspiration though, for not only myself. That's why I love to hear the stories. Like, that's what my show's all about. Like, I like to get the listeners to get to really know you, and to put that inspiration out there, because a lot of people feel like they can't do a lot of things, or it may seem impossible, or have these great ideas. But like, speaking to somebody like you, you don't really do too well with the arcane or the other, it's like you like, hey, look, let's try it. If it don't work, hey, it's on to the next thing. Let's just keep it going. And I just think that's another thing that I really love about you. You always putting that energy out there, and you could draw from it just from off of your page. You don't have to be in your physical presence, because I know that energy there is just to, but you can draw that from your page. I'm telling you, I go on your page a lot, and I always I can go get me a laugh in. I can go get me some other form of inspiration, some other motivation, just seeing the way you're doing it. And as a single mother, that is the icing, that's the cherry on it right there to me, because a lot of people give up.
Yeah, and it's easier to give up than to hold on. seemingly easier physically and mentally, emotionally. I tell people all the time, if I can do it, so can you. I didn't go to college. You know what I'm saying? My kids all went to college. I didn't want to go to college. I went to some strong private schools out here in LA. I didn't want to go to college. I want to get out and work. I wanted to hustle. I want to be in that music industry, be this, like I said, this boss woman in the music industry. And so then I had the kids. Now I would have much rather had help from their father. Absolutely. I think that every child deserves a present father, present financially and emotionally and spiritually, all the things I keep saying. Mm-hmm. It would have been a lot easier. It was not an easy road. It was awful, actually, many nights. They don't know that. They don't know the tears and the prayers and the practically having to beg God for things, which you don't have to beg God. But, I shielded them from all of that. But I do tell people, like, I did it. And I did it without a college education. I did it without child support. Although get your child support, I chose a different path. And I really want people to know that truly I'm not an exception to the rule, other than I'm doing the work, which is a universal principle. No matter what you believe in, if you sow a seed, if you water the seed, then you'll get increase from that seed through whatever you planted. Facts. And that's what you have to do. Farmers don't just drop a seed and walk away. They drop a seed, and they till the ground, and then they water the ground, and they till the ground, and they water the ground, and they watch their fruit or their vegetable grow. And that's what you have to do to be successful in anything that's against you, anything that's coming against you. You have to have that diligence to win.
But you know what it is, though? What you're saying right now is the factual blueprint, but the vision that's being put out there, I feel like, for the millennials and this crazy space that we're living in right now is, that's just not the case. That's why, the fruit that's being produced is a lot of lazy kids. They, because now
lazy
now. Exactly. It's crazy. They got all of these devices now, which, is not allowing the kids to have that physical interaction. They don't like going outside playing no more. They just want to just play the game. Going outside, saying, hey, go outside and get some sun now is just like torture.
Yeah.
And
it also comes from lazier parents. Like when that generation, these millennials started with when I was having kids in the 90s. Mm-hmm. And it was a punishment to stay in the house. If I had to be on time, I would cry. Like, I got to get out. Where I see a lot of my friends' kids, it's a punishment for them to have to go outside. But I raised my kids, no, because I saw where they were going, stuck on the iPads and all these other devices that we had. I said, no, y'all gonna stay outside. So they learned to play outside. They learned to be creative with dirt and with water, with whatever we did. I was like, oh, you better go play with those rocks.
We didn't even taste it a little bit. We didn't taste the dirt a little bit.
All of it. We were making dirt patties.
Yeah, we was explorers. We were young explorers.
And so they did do that. Like, I didn't have televisions in their rooms. We had 2 TVs in the house, one in my bedroom and one in our family room. Mm-hmm. They weren't allowed to have televisions. They weren't allowed to take all the laptops there, when they finally got laptops until they got to high school. So I was really diligent with this blueprint on how I'm going to raise these kids, even though they are super spoiled, entitled millennials, but they still had that time to just be out. They're super creative because they were able to go outside, and they're very sociable.
Right.
But a lot of my friends' kids aren't. So to your point.
That's right. But again, that comes from, experience. And that also comes in, with putting in that work by being able to detect that too, because sometimes parents get, be sidetracked in their own little thing to the point where they ain't bothering me as long as they have an iPad. I'm good.
It's so much easier to do that. It's so much easier for me to say, here, just take the iPad and take all this food and self-soothe because I want to go get on Instagram or at the time, MySpace or Facebook. And I want to be on the phone with my friends. And I remember the Lord said to me one day, okay, listen, your job is them. So when they get home at 3 o'clock, from 3 to 9, that's your focus. From 9 to 12, do what you want to do. Mm-hmm. And it took all the stress off of me having to yell and scream and leave me alone. I'm on the phone. They needed me. That's my first job. Mm-hmm. And so it was hard, but that's what I did to make sure they were going to be well-rounded kids. Because I saw where it was going. I was like, oh, we're going to have a whole bunch of overweight, unsocialized children that this is really going to nip us bite us in the butt at the end of it, which it's doing. And I tell my kids, I tell them even now, and even on their friends, y'all are 24 and 25 and broke. Let me tell you something. If our era would have had the internet, we would have all been multimillionaires by the time we're 25.
Man,
There's no reason you're broke with the
you.
internet. There's no reason.
Man, we couldn't even do that. I don't know. And I always thank my mom every time I talk to her, man. Because sometimes, she's older now, but when I talk to her, I always make it my business to bring her back. Oh. Because they in a different space now, but I always like to run little eps to her and remind her about her. Like, Mom, you remember when used to have? I just never understood why you always wanted me to go out there and change the garage. My mom was a teacher for 40-something years, so she had books and boxes and all. Yeah. I'm like, Mom, throw this stuff away. You're not teaching that grade no more or whatever. But she just used to make me go out there and organize it. And that was like the worst thing. But then, I understand it now. We laugh about it now, but I understand all of those different things. Because like on Saturdays, when we wake up, we couldn't really sleep in late. When we wake up, we're gone. Yeah. And she got list on the table. One with 7 names on it, which my list was always the longest, and then she had a list with my brother Andre name on it. I never did understand that concept why mine was longer. You know what I'm saying? But that was every Saturday though. That was before we can go. We had plans to go to the movies. That was before anything. Chores, responsibilities had to be taken care of. We
got them done by 10 so we could hit those streets. And we'd be back before it got dark. They didn't ask us where we went, who we were with. It's like it wasn't even a need. Just you go be careful. My mother didn't even say be careful. She just said see you later. Be home before it gets dark. That was it.
Facts. And thinking about that, because we used to get dropped off at the movie. We used to be everywhere. But then now when you think about it now, Paige, we can't do that with our kids no more.
No, I raised cul-de-sac kids, and I was definitely a helicopter mom. And I don't know that it did them that much justice. Because I was such a helicopter mom, right. They didn't need for anything, nothing. They'd never caught a bus by themselves. That was my rite of passage in LA to get my bus pass.
Facts.
They didn't even walk the neighborhood growing up. I'm like, no, I bought a house in a cul-de-sac so you could play in the cul-de-sac. Mm-hmm. I was places I shouldn't have been. Like my mother knew where I was, but it was cool. But you're right. It's like we can't do that nowadays.
They're snatching kids now.
Yeah, but it doesn't disservice to them. Because they're spoiled. They grew up in, the world of Uber. Everything's catered to them.
It's weird. Now, let's talk about the Magic Johnson experience. How did that come about?
Oh, Earvin, he's an amazing man. So I was working so Spike Lee used to have a clothing company, Spike's Joint. You remember all the Spike's Joints?
I remember Spike's
East and West. So he opened up Spike's Joint West out here on Melrose. And I don't know how I got that job, but I got a job working it was a store downstairs and upstairs was the marketing department. So somehow I got hired. I don't remember how, upstairs in the marketing department. And I worked for who turned into my mentor, Taylor Michaels. And Taylor was in the world of sports and entertainment. She worked for Nike a long time. So she met a lot of the top athletes. And then she ended up meeting Spike. And so he hired her to run the store out here. And I was her assistant. And then she left and she got a better opportunity with I don't think she started it, but she definitely grew and developed Magic Johnson Foundation and Magic Johnson Enterprises. Mm-hmm. And so then she said, just let me get settled and I'll bring you over with me, because she became my mentor and my big sister. So she brought me over there and I started off as receptionist and I moved on up. And then I had my twins there. I think I'd already had my first daughter. So I was there like for 5 or 6 years. When we opened his first theater, which was out here, Magic Johnson Theaters. I was there, I was right next to him. And so it was really cool. We still have a really great relationship. I consider him family and he considers me the same. But it was amazing. I learned his right hand at the time, who was my media boss, was Ken Lombard, who used to play ball with him. And I learned how to be, even though it was from a man, from Taylor, my mentor, and from Ken Lombard, I really learned how to be a good businesswoman. I learned how he spoke to people, how he was demanding, a lot of times curt, but always gracious, so I really learned, and I was so young, gosh, I would have learned so much more had I been there into my 30s, but I left in maybe 2000. So it was amazing though. I mean, it's Magic Johnson.
I mean, like, you know what I'm saying?
It was an honor and a blessing, but I'm an LA girl. So, one of my best friends growing up was Quincy Jones' daughter. So my dad was the they called him the optician to the stars. So how dope your glasses are, back in the 70s and 80s, he would add, we had an optical shop called Page Optical, and he would put diamonds and rhinestones on people's glasses, either their initials,
yeah.
So if you Google it, well, I don't think be on Google, but I have articles that say, he was the optician to the stars. He did everybody's glasses. So I have pictures of me growing up, going to Sammy Davis Jr.'s house and Mayor Tom Bradley. Like, we were always at a party, and I was always with him every weekend. So I knew everybody. When I come to work for Magic, it was what an honor. But it's like, I grew up in this. That's a spoiled LA girl thing.
Yeah, you already were over the big house.
I think I was a star. I thought I was a star back then. So I was like, you Magic, but I'm Paige,
Right. That is so dope, man. Like that, and it's connecting the dots for me with the personality. Like you've been around, you've been around a lot of things, and seen a lot of things, and that kind of helps shapes and coming up under, the Magic, being in that atmosphere, being able to garner any information was truly a blessing, because these are business gurus. Come on.
Brilliant. He really is brilliant. And I knew even at a young age, working for him in my 20s, I think I left when I was 28 or 29. I knew that I was amongst greatness. I was super spoiled and I was a super LA girl, but I knew that I was sitting in a conference room with great men and women, and that I was in the 1 percentile that would ever be able to experience anything like this. So I've always been grateful for it.
Right. Now, vision strategists. Can we break that down? Because I feel like it's a lot with that. Vision alone, having a vision is where pretty much, anything starts at or whatever. The problem comes in is, trying to strategize your visions and really put it in a way to where you can, blueprint it and actually, set the goals and actually, put the foot forward to actually try to accomplish, to bring those visions to life. Can we talk about being a vision strategist?
And that was a point where I had opened up a coaching program years ago. That's where Life Changers International comes in, because I want everybody to win. I was like, I'm figuring this out. I figured it out. So I want people to see what I do, because so many times we overcomplicate our dreams and we overcomplicate the vision. And it's because we don't have it in writing so that we can see what to do. Right. And in this day and age, again, with the internet, you should be winning. If you're not winning, it's just your idea isn't good. So let's just go back and figure out a different strategy or a different idea. Right. So I have a gift of connecting people. I realized that gift actually when I told you I was working with Montel, when we were all best friends, myself, Kristen, and Camille. And I said, because I knew the Christopher Williams, I knew everybody, Kid from Kid and Play. I know all of them I know all of them from a friend standpoint, So this is back in the 90s. And I'm like, I'm always hooking up this person, that person, this person, that person. I met Montel. He's like, I got a tape. I was like, oh, I work for Spike Lee. I got you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, wait a minute. I need to get paid for this, because I'm connecting everybody. So I connected Montel with DJ Paul Stewart, who ended up running Def Jam West, you know what I'm saying? Because he used to DJ my birthday parties, you know what I'm saying? My 18th birthday party, I had everybody, not 19th, sorry. I had everybody from Eazy-E to Wesley Snipes to LL Cool J. They were all at my parties, And this was a street party, So, and that's just because I was the homie and I hung around really good people. And it was just LA. So, I know how to connect people and I have that gift. So I turned that into a vision strategy coaching class where I'm like, hey, you guys, if you have a desire to birth a vision and people just don't know how, then I'm going to give you that strategy, because I'm so gifted at, if I sit with you for 5 minutes, I'm telling you, God's going to give me exactly what to do. And all you got to do is do it. Here's the problem. Most people aren't going to do it.
Right.
But the Lord told me a long time ago, because I used to get so burdened by it, like, why isn't this person winning? He said, listen, one plants, one waters, and then God provides the increase. So you go and plant. That's what you're called to do, to plant. You plant into that person and you move on. They have to water their own stuff. I can't make you successful in your vision. I can just give you the tools. But now it's up to you to use those tools, till your land, and then see your harvest grow.
Another thing too is it's funny that you say that because this was a vision for me. This was an idea. This was a vision. Because I used to be, an artist and chasing after that music dream and all of that stuff or whatever. And I found that the closer I got to the business, the more God was getting in the way, stopping everything that I was trying to do. It just wasn't working out. And so I ended up sacrifice. And anybody who really knows me know how much I love music, but sacrificing, stepping away from it to create something where I could actually create opportunities and shine light on artists and entertainers was my vision for the whole vibe thing. But then I wanted to do it a different way. I didn't want to do the TMZ style type platform. I really wanted to like I'm cool with a lot of people too throughout my 3 years of doing this, having this, creating the vibe platform and the brand. I'm cool with so many different people, like you named Play, like I am their friend.
I know how many people on your list.
So it's such an amazing thing to be able to talk to people that you absolutely adore, and then they connect, and then those vibes get together, and they just like, man, this dude's cool. Like, because, and that's that. It was a vision, and to see it come to life, a lot of people don't believe they want, until they see the list, because so many people are interviewing people now. COVID created all different types of interview platforms, and I think it's great, but at the same time, I really do this, you know what I mean? Like, and once people see how I'm doing it, and they get the list, like you said, they be like, damn, hold up, this dude done had Beyonce dad on this show.
Yeah.
And people, they look at it different and they view it different. But then the more I was like interviewing people like yourself, that's going to go out and be something that may be brought up. Like, yo, the vibe show is dope. Like, yeah, you should do it. You know what I mean? Like the relationships. Would you say that the relationships is one of the most important things, vital things in this entertainment business that we're in?
Relationships are the most vital thing in life, period. I was told, I don't even know who by it. I don't think I made it up, so I won't give myself credit. But somebody along the way said, Paige, you need to always have 5 people in your corner who are truly your friends. You need a doctor, a good physician. You need a mechanic. You need, I say this all the time, I'm drawing a blank, but you need an attorney, a mechanic, attorney, a doctor. You need, 2 more people, but the 5th person was that homie who could go and lay hands on somebody just in case.
Absolutely.
But where these relationships are naturally, and they're organically created, so it's like, oh yeah, I have good people, and I'm good too, so I'm a good resource to call too. But relationship, especially in the music industry. So the things I'm working on now, I've heard, I forgot to put on earrings. Hey, I don't have any jewelry. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
But you're organically glowing. So you're killing it right now. You're killing it.
So, but somebody said to me about 2 months ago, Paige, I hope you're always this humble. I hope that you don't get a big head with the things I'm working on. I said, let me tell you something. I said, let me tell you something. This is who I am in general. Like I am, humility leads me because of my relationship with God first, and because of all the things that I've gone through, so I will always be this person, and I never want to think that let me be very honest with you. Have a good transparent moment right now. I sent the email from your station to my manager, and he didn't even take the time to look at your list, whether you had a list or not. And I love my manager, but this is just very transparent moment, because he was like, I never heard of that. And I was like, well, it doesn't matter if you've heard of it or not. This is a good guy that's in my DM. You know what I'm saying? I checked him out. He's good. And I actually went through the website, and it's a dope concept. He has a dope show. He's been on for a long time. It's nothing new. And it's always good to keep your name out there. And just because it's not a Steve Harvey morning show interview doesn't mean that it's not viable, and doesn't mean you're not creating relationships. Right. That's what matters. Like the building that I live in is 35 stories. We have penthouse that costs $30,000 a month. But guess who I shake hands with every day? From the doorman to the lady, to the people who come and, have to come and work on if something's wrong in my apartment. I make sure to say hello. They get gifts from me all the time, whether it's Christmas or whether it's Valentine's Day, because relationships matter.
Right.
And as a result, you get the little things, like if I get package, deliveries, instead of going all the way downstairs to get my package, I just open the door and they're there. And they don't have to do that. And I don't know they're supposed to do that, but just little things like that. Hey, Paige, how you doing? Or if I go swimming in the pool, they were about to clean the whole pool. They kicked everybody out, but they let me swim my laps until I was done. But that's a relationship. So just imagine when you translate that from your daily living to your professional life in this music industry or maybe in the music industry, Lord, in the entertainment industry, it means everything. It means that you get more favors, right? To be favored is a blessing. People, and when people don't take that to heart, that's when they start losing and fall off. Like my prayer is always, Lord, let me always operate in humility, where I'm so grateful for the favor that you show on my life. Because coming back out to Los Angeles at 46 and a half to start a new dream and a new vision after a show got canceled in Nashville, only come and be on, have so many more opportunities than people who've worked in this business for 20 years.
Exactly.
Commercials trying to get their own shows. And here I come because of that favor and that relationship. Paige, good. She turns things in on time. She's always polite in her emails. She's always responds favorably. That's how I want to live my life, and I have been. So relationship is everything.
I love that. Now you mentioned, because we were getting ready to go into that. Now, this show was canceled.
Flop Nashville, yeah. So that was canceled. We did 2 seasons, which was amazing.
That show was dope, though.
Well, a few things happened. So we were a spinoff. There's the original Flip or Flop that's out here.
I know that.
So the spinoffs were Nashville, Fort Worth, Vegas, and Atlanta. And so they canceled all of them in 2019. I think probably just to refocus and only focus on the original Flip or Flop out here. But I was so grateful because first of all, the market was awful in Nashville. It was too expensive, and it's the market became new construction and not flipping. And also, all my kids had graduated. I raised them. They know they're from LA, but they were raised in Nashville, and I raised them to be big city girls. Like, we nested in Nashville. Now y'all go out and live your best life wherever you want to live, because you're armed with graciousness and education and beauty. Y'all don't need for nothing. If I die today, you guys have been set up and you're good. So when the show was canceled, we found out in July of 2019, June or July of 2019, I was like, I'm out. My work in Nashville is done. I've raised my children. I gave Nashville a great show for 2 seasons. I'm going back home to LA. I'm just going to try to live out the rest of my life and fulfill the dreams that I still have out here. So
and you know what? That's weird. It's nothing but God a lot, because you went out there. You were out there to create that atmosphere for the kids. Not so you know what I mean? And you can really, how it is in LA. You know what I mean? Yeah. That is like so dope. And then that ends. Time's up. It's time to go back. Now you could do what you really want to do, where you want to do it at. All of your connections, all the people you love. Here.
It's crazy.
Dope, man.
It's so crazy, and it's so dope. And one of my daughters moved out here with me last October, and I'm looking at her like she looks like she's always lived in LA. She's like she just dropped in, and she's modeling like every week. She has 2 or 3 gigs a week. So it's everything has come back full circle. I'm working on a lot of things in TV. My partner and I started a production company. So, we've been shopping shows, and looks like they're getting picked up. And then my best friend and I launched a workout line a couple of days ago, but it's all really started popping off since I got back.
I got to get with you on that, because we need to get some of those ads and different things. And I launched a magazine, and I'm trying to expand it, and would love to work with you on putting some of the whatever you got, your merch, whatever you got, put those ads in there, and that another form of promotion. So we definitely talk about that. I think that's just amazing. I'm just tripping out on everything, how it's all aligning up.
Yeah.
I just look at things different, and it's not just conversation for me. I really absorb things in because, it could be something that I was wondering about. And I'm like, man, and then you breaking it down and I'm like, I'm on the right path towards what I'm trying to do. So
Yeah.
I definitely, I thank you for that. But I got to ask you this though, now, because this could be just some weird wording. But
Okay.
we keep it at 1,000. We keep it at 1,000. So I gotta ask you this now. The way they worded it, they said on the Flip and Flop show, they said when it was starring you and ex-turned business partner Deron Jenkins. Now I gotta ask you about that. Was that really your ex?
Yeah.
Or was it some weird wording?
No, that's a real life show. Like that's real part of reality TV. So that happened. We dated.
Weird? Was that weird?
Was it weird? No, we dated for 5 or 6 years, 10 or 15 years ago, but we always remained in each other's lives because he's a bona fide contractor. I'm a bona fide broker. Right. So we always kept working together. We were never too far from each other's lives, but only professionally. I'm part of a Black Real Estate Association, NAREB, National Association of Real Estate Brokers. Mm-hmm. And I saw an email that came up that said, HGTV is looking for a Black couple for a new show, with their model. The husband's a contractor, the wife is a designer. Right. And it could be anywhere in the country. I was like, I wish I knew somebody. And I went to bed. In the middle of the night, I woke up. I swear, I woke up. Holy Spirit was like, you submitted. And I was like, no, but I'm not married, number one. And then the Lord just showed me Deron. And without Deron even knowing, I put together our bios and I wrote a show out. And it was called Join at the Flip. Right. About a contractor and a real estate broker that still do flips together, and they work well together. They just didn't work well together. That was that went as a tag on the show. And so I emailed the producer that was looking for a Black couple. I said, hey, listen, this isn't what you're looking for at all. We're not together. We still work together. We totally get on each other's nerves. And she was like, are you guys real? Long story short, she did a sizzle on us about not even a month later. And then maybe 2 months after that, we did a pilot. The pilot had over 1 million views that night on HGTV. Then they picked us up for season 1. And then they turned us from Joined the Flip into, they put us in that franchise of Flip or Flop, which was amazing because we might have just been a Saturday afternoon show, but we turned it to a primetime show that went up against How to Get Away with Murder.
Exactly.
A week. So no, that was real. Yeah, we get on each other's nerves. That's very real.
Crazy. That is so crazy. But
and if you watch the show, you'll see me like.
I loved it. That's why I loved it. And it's just crazy because it's a lot of good shows that end up ending. You know what I mean? And I thought for one that this one was really going to just continue because, like I said, the views were amazing. People really loved the show. I thought, and then you guys made it funny as well. Like it was just dope. It was just dope.
That's part of entertainment. So that goes back to us just talking about entertainment and creating good relationships. Mm-hmm. Because I've had such great relationships during those 2 short years that as soon as we found out the show was canceled, my agent flew me out to LA, and I had probably 17 meetings in a 10-day, period of time, just going on meetings, all these networks, trying to figure out what to do next. And going on those meetings, I said, to my manager / partner, I said, we need a production company because remember synergy. I'm a magnet for people who need to connect with somebody else. And all these shows started coming. So that led me to be on Rock the Block 2 or House Party. I'm like, this is just great. It goes back to relationships, but it goes also back to a few questions ago, having, that mentality of entrepreneurialism where you have to always have a pipeline and different streams going because they didn't cut us off because of high ratings, which is crazy. You usually get dropped because you don't have high ratings.
Yeah, exactly.
We had 900,000 to 1.2 million every single week. It was just that we had to cut all the franchise spinoffs off to focus on the original. Mm-hmm. And now I see why, because the original they each have 2 spinoffs coming from them, 1 or 2 spinoffs. So when I look at it from a network perspective, I'm like, that was a good move. It makes sense, because we were spinoffs, but you know,
Y'all were blowing it out of the water though. And
yeah, we were.
It's a lot of politics now, Paige. You know that now.
It is, but look at what it's catapulted me to. I would still be stuck in, no, I won't say stuck, but I would still be in Nashville, and I probably would have been just fine, but I would much rather be right where I am right now.
The land of opportunities.
It's really a lot more to do out here, because if we think about it, I'll just throw this in real quick. When the show got canceled and I sat back and I said, well, Lord, my kids aren't coming back here. I have my sister circle of 5 friends who are my best friends, and they're the only thing I miss about Nashville, but I can't hang out with them every day for the rest of my life. So what's going to be next? You know what I'm saying? I've given Nashville a show. I hit a ceiling. I'm a top realtor. What's next? You know, I want to do what I want to do and get back to what my dreams were back in 1995. So, you know, when you trust God, you know, you get to do 180s or 360s or wherever you are in your journey, when you just trust that he's going to work out every crooked path. And I think them canceling the show was the best thing for me.
Now, let me ask you this. So now we've pulling those visions out the vault. Now we pulling the 90s visions out the vault. Now, are we finna kick the music thing off? Or is that what we doing?
Well, what's interesting is that, so my partner also has a deal, has nothing to do with me. He has his own record label with Sony Music. It's called Electric Train Records. And he's, you know, signing dope artists. And what we're going to do with my other partner, my best friend and I, with our workout line, we're creating an app, and he's going to put out the playlist for the app. So it's going to be Paige's playlist for the app. So it's like, ooh, that's kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to manage anybody anymore. I'm past those days, but there's still a connection there in music. So I'm excited about that.
Right. The book, The Go Life.
Yeah.
Is that the stamp? Is that the be all, like the Go Life? Is that what I need to incorporate into my life? I need. Can we talk about what inspired the book? What inspired the book? Which doesn't surprise me, but I just wanted to.
What inspired the book is me telling people that if I can do it, so can you. So GO is an acronym for seizing your greatest opportunity now, because, you know, how many times have you been like, you see an idea that comes across a TV or on Instagram, you're like, I thought about that 10 years ago. Because if you don't do it, God's gonna move to the next person who's gonna do the work. And sacrifice the tears and the money and the embarrassment and the is it gonna work or is it not gonna work. If you don't do it, he'll use somebody else to do it. There's nothing new under the sun, right? So I said it's a book that teaches you how to seize every great opportunity that comes in your life. And what's dope about it is that it's a quick, easy read. The letters are big. You can put it in your purse pocket, you know what I'm saying? And at the end of every chapter, because I believe in accountability, there is a workspace where you can write down what you're going to do to catapult you into seizing all of your great opportunities. So how to get through the hard times of vision planning and, you know, so on, how to use the keys that you get. Sometimes people get a whole bunch of keys, but if you don't know what key unlocks what door, you won't know how to use it. You won't get to the other side of that door. You'll always just be knocking and the door will never open because it's locked. So that book's on Amazon. And I love it because
my copy.
I'll send you one, but I haven't checked lately, but I'm like positioned right underneath Michelle Obama, the great, you know, I'm like, oh, that's just so cool. I just go on Amazon and look at that. Right.
Wow. Now, I mean, what's next? You know, because I feel like I could just talk to you, but it's so many things that I want to talk to you about and we don't have time. But I got to continue this because the beauty of it all is meeting amazing people, learning new things, and sharing information. A lot of people don't like to share information, especially amongst our people. Yeah. I don't know why it's like that, but people don't like to share information. Have you experienced that? Because I mean, I'm feeling like me and you are somewhat alike in a lot of ways. And I think that's why I'm so excited about talking with you or whatever. But I do bump into that a lot, to where people don't like to share information. It's like it's, you know,
crabs in a barrel mentality. And I give all the information away because whether it's real estate or whether it's entertainment, how did you get your show? Oh, this is how I got it. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't do everything. I can't take on every buyer and seller in Nashville or in Los Angeles or in Georgia, where I'm licensed in all 3 states. I can't, be on everybody's TV screen. There's more than enough room for everybody. So why would I hoard all this information when I want you to be great too? You know what I'm saying? How'd you publish your book? Oh, use this person. I am real big on referrals. Here, use this person, use that person, use this person, use that person. Because that's how everybody wins. And that's the only way everybody wins. So yeah, the crab in the barrel mentality, nope, not me.
What, if you can name something, what's the one thing other than your kids or whatever that really, really makes you happy? What makes Paige Turner happy?
Besides a good pair of Balenciaga tennis shoes, I would say peace. There's nothing like having a good night's sleep where even if all the bills are due, I'm going to rest. There's no price for peace. And for many, many years, especially raising my girls, I didn't know how to control my peace because it's controllable. It starts right here. It starts here, but once it gets here, there's a whole battle between head and heart. I didn't know how to control it. But once I caught it, like, oh, this is what I have to do, then I was able to protect my peace. And that protects you. You put up your guard, not in a bad way. It's just the Bible even talks about, guarding your heart from the energy zappers or the users or the liars, the thieves. It's like, no, you tap in that discernment. So definitely peace is worth more than anything on this planet to me.
Right. If you could jump in a time machine with Doc and go back and change one thing in your life with Doc Brown in the DeLorean, what would that be?
To change it?
To change it. Like, man, if I could just go back and just change one thing.
Oh, that might make me cry. And I might get a lot of flack for this, but understand how I'm going to say this. I would change the choice of the father that I chose for my children because they deserved better than they got. And now I see a lot of cleanup. My dad died when I was 8, so I have daddy issues as far as death goes, but not abandonment because I was a daddy's girl. So I remember so much about him even at 8. I was with him more than my mom, but they don't have that story. They have abandonment. They have neglect. They have watching me have to do everything, and they deserve better than that. Now, some people will say, well, you shouldn't regret it. You shouldn't change. I would change that for them. I would, even if that changed who they are, I would change that for them because they deserve to have 2. We didn't have to be together. I definitely want to be with him. But they deserve to have a present father. And they deserve to see a Black man who takes care of his responsibilities, whether or not that man and woman work out. Right. A Black man who puts 3 amazing, just super brilliant and beautiful, life-changing little girls ahead of anything else on this planet, like I did, like me and my mom did. They deserve to see a Black man in that light. And now as a result of it, they've never seen that from a Black man. So now, and I've always constantly tried to cover them in prayer with that. But, now who knows? They're grown. Like I said, they're 24 and 26. So who knows what their internal battles are where they're going to have to deal with that if they have to go to counseling. If they don't, I don't know. We all should go to counseling at one point. You know what I'm saying? But I would change that. Even if it changed me being their mom, they deserve better than what he provided for them or didn't provide for them.
That's deep. That's deep right there. But and you're right, because even though you've done what you could to and done a great job, an amazing job, providing shielding and all of the things that they needed in life. That's one thing that you can't teach, that you can't show them, that you can't. I know if you could, you would. If you can go purchase that, you would.
I would have.
You're right about that, though. And that is deep because that could be something, a layer on the inside that may be damaging, at some point in life or whatever, and might trigger. That's deep, Paige.
even if they don't have to deal with it on a daily and it's not as a deep wound, because I really tried to, I never spoke ill of their father until they started speaking ill of him. Then it became a joke, but it's such a sad joke. You know what I'm saying? And I always try to check in with them, like, are you cool? Because your daddy's not here again. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can talk to me, you know, and all of that. They never really did. And they're pretty easygoing kids and even adults, but they deserve better than what he gave them. He had a dog for 10 years that he fed before he fed his kids. And they can see that in pictures and on Facebook. You feeding your Rottweiler and you ain't sent my mother any money to do anything with? Well, he sent him $100 one time and told them to split it. Okay, so I went and got a wax, got my nails done because they already had everything they needed. So I would definitely change that. And people would send me, you know, Happy Father's Day, you know, the texts and the cards. I'm like, I'm not a man, and I don't want that. I don't want that role. I appreciate the sentiment, and I'm always, you know, thankful for it, but I would tell them I'm not your daddy and I don't know how to be. And I don't want to be. Dang, I got my own things I got to deal with just as a woman and being a mother. I don't want that weight. I don't.
Right. Craziest fan moment, if any, or craziest moment when being out.
Well,
you are a star now. I don't know if you know that, but you are a star.
That's weird. It's weird because it's weird when like, my daughter's here. She just walked in. We were in.
Hello.
Pardon?
Well, I say hello.
Okay. She went in another room. We were out in LA at the place out here called The Grove. And I mean, the show is actually worldwide. I get messages from Kenya and Nigeria that they're watching the show, which in Australia, I'm like, oh my God, this is so crazy. But we were just sitting there and I saw this group of young people, they were young, you know, in the 30s or whatever, you know, looking, and they kept looking. And I was like, my kids are beautiful. So maybe they're looking at them. And then finally the guy said, you on that show, Flip or Flop, huh? And I was like, yeah, that's so cool. You know, so that happens a lot in the airport, but just to be like in this really odd place at The Grove, at this restaurant where, I don't know. So, you know, that's cool. But what's really funny is my best friend and I, we're both the same complexion, but I'm 5'5", she's 4'11". But people always call me Joan and always call her Paige. They don't really run up to me saying, I love your show, but they'll run up to her like, oh my God, Paige, I love your show. So now she just says, thank you, because she's just like, thank you, because it happens all the time.
Wow. Man, listen, you know, you got to come back on this show.
Anytime.
Like, seriously.
I have some big announcements coming that I can't say yet, but when they come, I'll come back on. It'll be any day, like any week, there'll be a big press release. So
okay, well, we definitely need to connect on that so we could come back on and we can also put that information out there and help promote that in any type of way that we need to help promote that. Anything else? I know you probably can't talk about what you got coming up or whatever, but anything else that you want to plug and put out there that we can kind of be looking out for a little bit, little tidbit you can slide us a little bit?
Well, nope. Well, you know, I launched my workout lines as Joe Pa Life at the Joe Pa Life on Instagram. You already went over my book right now. Rock the Block 2. I'm a judge on that. So the season finale is tonight. I won't be on it tonight, but that was an amazing opportunity to be on such a big show that gets 1.6 million viewers a week. You know what I'm saying? So I was on that. We have a lot of good things in the works, but I'm telling you, as soon as this press release gets greenlit, I will be inboxing you, messaging you, telling you, we got to come back. We got to come back.
Yes.
It's going to be dope. Super dope. Like the dopest of the dope. That's what it's like. Oh, it's so dope. It's outrageous. Outrageous.
Okay. Now we gonna have to we're gonna have to talk. You guys make sure that y'all log on right now. If you're trying to get the book is out on Amazon right now. The Go Life by my friend Paige Turner. You guys make sure that y'all go and pick up that book. Or you can also order the book off of the website. That's www.pageturnerunlimited.com. Y'all make sure. Can we get that up on the screen, please? When I say that, that's supposed to be up there. You know, that's www.pageturnerunlimited.com. Y'all make sure that y'all go and cop the book right now. Also, it's you're still doing the workshops. It's so much on the website. The website is absolutely beautiful. Y'all need to go log on. You can navigate through. Everything is there. Everything is there. So y'all make sure that if you're on here, y'all go and log on and make sure that you pick up a copy of that book today and not tomorrow. Let's put the social platforms out there in ways that people can connect with you, because I know you do workshops and stuff too.
There'll be more this summer, which they'll be through my website. You did the whole commercial. My handle's there for Instagram. It's the same for good old fashioned Facebook. Same for TikTok. You know, I'm trying to be a TikTok sensation right now. I'm loving it.
I don't know what to do on there. I'll just be just like, man, I don't need to be on.
Listen, I have about, one of my TikToks got 500,000 views. I'm averaging like 100,000, 80,000. I'm like, TikTok's a whole, if you have a brand, TikTok is the way to go. I mean, TikTok's the number one platform to sell anything on right now.
Really?
So yeah, I might do a class on TikTok because I feel like I'm almost an expert.
Please do one. Please.
Yeah, the workout life is at the JoPa, JOPA, which is Joan and Paige, the JoPa Life on Instagram.
On Instagram.
Yeah.
Perfect. Before we get out of here, for anybody that we always ask my guests this before we close out, for anybody that, because it's definitely been a rough year for a lot of people. So many different things went left. Nobody seen any of this coming or whatever. So before we get out of here, can you leave anybody who may be low in spirit or going through a tough time or maybe feeling like giving up or might have had a vision or got a vision and just, don't really believe in it or need some words of uplift or maybe lost somebody from COVID or got COVID or lost a job, got laid off, whatever they're going through? Can you give them some words of uplift and encouragement?
Yes. So, we've always heard in church that trouble don't last always. And that's a true story. So I would encourage anybody listening, first of all, thank you for listening, to remember that trouble don't last always. If you're tired, then take a nap, but get back up and get back to your vision. If you don't have one or you need to reignite one, then I always tell people, listen, of course, if I can do it, so can you. But ask God, tap into your creative genius. We have so many opportunities out here where we can get our vision to all of these multiple platforms and, different social media platforms, that there's no reason why your vision won't come to pass, but you have to do the work. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to take a nap, like I said, take a nap, but always get up. Trouble don't last always, and it's always darkest before dawn. But I promise you that sun is going to shine again.
Amen. Y'all heard it right there from my sister, Paige Turner. Listen, this has been an amazing experience. It was amazing to be able to connect with you. I knew it was going to be electric. I already knew this already. That's why I would not give up. I kept telling my VP, I'm like, man, listen, we have to get her on the show. I'm telling you, she is an amazing spirit. And it's such a blessing to have connected with you. I'm looking forward to the future, and also, getting some mentorship on a lot of different visions that I have, but, maybe have a few questions about direction or guidance or something like that or whatever. I would like to connect with you on that level as well. But it's truly a blessing. And from me, the team, we want to wish you more blessings and more success with everything that you're doing right now and everything that you're going to be doing in the future, because I know it's going to be amazing, truly.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I receive all those blessings. I'm going to keep tuned into the Vibe Show because this is a dope show right here. I appreciate it. I'm literally one of the best interviews I've ever had. So thank you for holding on to me and believing in me.
I have to. Absolutely. And thank you so much for those warm words. We definitely need that. I claim that. That's already received and claimed. And we're going to continue to all go on and do great things and continue to push good vibes out here, keep people motivated and inspired in such these tough times. And listen, before we get out of here, can you touch on because and I almost forgot about that because we were so wrapped up in so many different things, because I could go so many different places with you, but I would like to get your COVID standpoint on how it may have affected your brands, and I with reading and doing my research, I know that you didn't allow anything to rattle the boat or anything like that, or shut down your visions, or bring you in a depressing state. You kept on mashing the gas even more and flourished throughout it all. But can we talk about that just a little bit, and then we can get on up out of here?
Yeah, I'll never forget March of 2020. I actually found myself, and I've never really operated in depression, but I really found out what it was in March of 2020 when real estate and shows and everything just came to a halt. I had huge deals on the table December 2019, and then by March everything was just halted. So I remember the day I had to make a choice. Am I going to slip into this depression and nothingness, or am I going to fight? Because as long as we're breathing, we have to keep fighting. As long as we're breathing, our brain still works, and we have to tap into that creative genius, because somebody is making, he just made me laugh on driver's seat. Somebody's making money. So if somebody's making money, that means a lot of people are still making money. You just have to tap into that and find your medium, right? And that's what I did. Everything in life is a choice. Everything. You either choose this route or you choose that route. Somebody a long time ago told me, if you're in a hole, stop digging and start looking up and figure out, how am I going to get out of this hole? And I felt like I was in a hole. What am I going to do? So just one ring by one ring, I'm just, trying to climb this ladder or pull myself up off this rope. But it goes back to just, listening, and writing that vision plan and working something. We got to keep working something. We can't just stop. If you stop, you die.
Absolutely.
Stop creating, you're dead. You're already dead if you stop creating. What are you doing with this great life that we have? Right. So you got to keep digging, or pulling yourself out the hole, I should say.
Absolutely. Did you or did you not? You don't have to answer this. Did you or did you not get the vaccine yet?
I haven't, and I don't mind having healthy conversations about that. And I don't know if I am. I moved from having a very super judgmental and opinionated stance on it, because I am a conspiracy theorist. Like, no.
Me too.
I mean, super, and I feel like even if I'm wrong, I'm gonna be right. But I've moved from that and into saying, you know what, do what's best for you. Mm-hmm. And I have also moved from saying, I'm not going to get it. I'm 99% not going to get it. But, you get older and it's like, you never know. But as of today, I'm not going to get it. Tomorrow I might change my mind. But I just want, ask me that question in June. We'll see how everybody's doing.
I'm definitely going to ask you that.
We'll see. I don't get the flu shot. So, and I know the flu shot and COVID are two completely different things, but I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't know. Do what you got to do. I'm going to do what I got to do.
Right. Yeah. Everybody that's on here right now. I guess I would, driver's seat. I guess I'll put, let's get that comment back. A driver's seat ask the question, page single question mark.
I don't know, child.
I guess you got to go back and watch the replay of this now. Driver.
Yeah, that's good.
The messages are in there. The messages are in there, Drive. But it's a lot of gems that was dropped too. Now to give you a little bit of game. Now.
Yeah, that's right. That's good. I'm telling you, go watch the Vibe show if you want to know if I'm single or not.
Absolutely. Shout out to everybody who was on the live today, who showed my sister so much love today. We really, really appreciate y'all. Y'all make sure y'all go and follow my sister on Instagram. That's Paige Turner Unlimited on Instagram, and on Facebook. What is it as well?
Paige Turner Unlimited. Paige
Turner Unlimited. And y'all make sure that y'all hit that website up. That's www.pageturnerunlimited.com. She kept it very, very simple, you guys. So you're already on your phones. Once y'all get off here, y'all make sure that y'all go and show love and pick up the book, The Go Life, right now. It's available. So y'all go and get that thing. Paige, I love you again. Thank you so much for such an amazing experience. And I'm definitely going to hit you up. Believe that. I know you got to come down. I want to be, when you can reveal.
Yes.
I don't want to be the last on the
top. I promise you won't. I promise you will not. It's going to be dope. It will be worth the wait. I promise.
Absolutely. It's the Vibe Show 97.9 with my special guest, the one and only, the very lovely Paige Turner. We are out. We love y'all. If you are new to this channel, y'all make sure y'all hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications for more exclusive interviews on the Vibe Show 97.9. I love y'all. Y'all protect yourself. Be safe. We out.
Let's go. Let's go. New shit. Hey, yo, Bert. Hey, talk to him. Yeah. Now tell me, should I feel so wrong for things I'm setting?